The year is 937. England is young, fragile, recently forged from chaos. For generations, this land had been divided. Saxon kingdoms fighting each other, Viking armies carving out territories, warlords claiming crowns that barely lasted a season. But now, for the first time, something new exists. A united England, and powerful men want to destroy it. At the center of it all stands King Æthelstan, grandson of Alfred the Great. He is not just another Saxon ruler. He is something different, ambitious, intelligent, ruthless when necessary. He has done what no king before him managed to do. He united the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms under one crown. Mercia, Wessex, Northumbria, all under him. But unity breeds resentment. To the north, Constantine II of Scotland watches carefully. To the west, Owain of Strathclyde waits for opportunity. Across the sea, Olaf Guthfrithson, Viking king of Dublin, sees England not as a kingdom, but as unfinished business. These men understand something clearly. If Æthelstan survives, England becomes permanent. If he falls, it fractures again. So they do something almost unheard of in medieval Britain. They unite. Scots, Vikings, Britons, an alliance of enemies bound together by one goal: destroy Æthelstan and tear England apart. It is one of the largest invasion forces ever assembled against England. Ships cross the Irish Sea. Armies march south. War banners rise across the north. This is not a raid. This is annihilation. When news reaches Æthelstan, he does not panic. He gathers the FYRD, the levied warriors of England. Housecarls, noble retainers, hardened veterans. At his side stands his brother Edmund. Young, fierce, and proven. The English army marches north to meet the invasion. We do not know exactly where they met. The battlefield's location has been lost to time. But the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle tells us this. Never before was there greater slaughter on this island. When the armies finally see each other, it is massive. Thousands upon thousands of men. Shield walls stretching across the landscape. On one side, the coalition, Vikings in mail and helmets, Scots with long spears, Strathclyde warriors hardened by border wars. On the other, the English, disciplined, unified, defending not just land but identity. Because this battle is not just about territory. It is about whether England survives as an idea. The morning begins with noise. Vahons. Drums. Men shouting battle cries in different tongues. Then the shield walls collide. The sound is thunder. Wood smashing against wood. Iron biting into flesh. Spears thrusting between shields. There is no cavalry dominance here. No elegant maneuvers. Just brutal, grinding infantry combat. Men push, stab, fall. The Vikings are fierce. They have fought across Europe. They know war. The Scots press hard on the flanks. Æthelstan fights in the center, guarded by his elite housecarls. The fighting lasts for hours. The Chronicle says the sun moved high over the battlefield while men continued killing without pause. Bodies begin piling up. Blood soaks into the soil. At some point, the coalition line begins to bend. Not break yet, but bend. English discipline begins to matter. Æthelstan's forces had trained together, fought together. They are not an alliance of convenience. They are one army. Then comes the turning point. The English push forward in a coordinated surge. Shields lock tighter. Spears thrust in rhythm. The coalition center starts collapsing. Once a shield wall breaks, chaos follows. Men begin to flee. And medieval warfare is most deadly not during battle, but during pursuit. The English chase them, across fields, toward rivers, toward ships. This is where slaughter becomes massacre. The Chronicle tells us that 5 kings died that day. 5. We know 2 sons of Constantine of Scotland were killed. Several Norse jarls fell. Olaf barely escaped by ship. Constantine fled north, broken and grieving. The coalition that had seemed unstoppable in the morning was shattered by evening. The field was left covered in bodies. The Anglo-Saxon poem describing Brunanburh calls it the greatest bloodshed ever seen since the Saxons first came to Britain. Wolves fed. Ravens circled. The dead lay unburied, and Æthelstan stood victorious. But victory came at terrible cost. English nobles died too. Warriors who had grown up fighting Vikings now lay among them. It was not a clean triumph. It was survival, and survival meant everything. Because after Brunanburh, no foreign coalition ever again seriously threatened the existence of a united England in the same way. Scotland remained independent, yes. Vikings would raid again. But the dream of destroying England as a kingdom died on that field. Brunanburh proved something irreversible. England could defend itself. England could fight as one. Æthelstan's reputation exploded across Europe. Foreign rulers began treating him not as a regional king, but as a major monarch. He became known as King of all Britain. But strangely, over time, the memory of Brunanburh faded. Why? Because unlike Hastings in 1066, it did not end England. Unlike Agincourt, it did not involve foreign conquest. It preserved the status quo. And preservation rarely feels dramatic to later generations. Yet, without Brunanburh, there might be no England as we know it. No unified kingdom to resist later invasions. No stable monarchy to evolve into a nation. In one day of blood and iron, the future was decided. 5 kings dead. Thousands of soldiers slaughtered.
En alliance crushed.
And a fragile kingdom hardened into permanence. When the sun set over that battlefield in 937, England was no longer an experiment. It was a reality, forged in blood, sealed in steel, and baptized in one of the most forgotten, yet most decisive battles in British history. Brunanburh was not just a victory. It was the moment England survived its greatest early test. And most people today have never even heard its name.